The first person I ever followed on Instagram, I can probably tell you. Oh, I don't know where my phone is. Oh, I'm filming on my phone right now. Oh my god, what an idiot. Hey, what's up Teen Vogue? This is Troi coming to you from my parents' spare bedroom in Melbourne in isolation. And I'm gonna tell you some of my firsts. My first word was mum. I think it was like mommy or dada. I actually don't know. I'm nervous to ask because I feel like my parents would, like one of them is bound to get upset because I'm sure that my dad thinks it was dada and my mum thinks it was mama. My first book that I read was, I wish I could remember what it was called. It was this dog that could talk. What was it? I'm gonna Google this, sorry, one second. Dog talking book. Maybe it was Australian? Yeah. Selby, Australian author Duncan Ball. There was these Australian books called the Selby books, and this dog could talk. That's all I remember. My first pet was a kind of like a mutt of a dog named Jagger. She was so sweet and so cute, and we sadly had to put her down last year, I want to say, but she lived till she was like 18 or something like that, so it was amazing. My first CD was Ella Funk by the Black Eyed Peas. I got it as a birthday present from a friend, and I loved that album. I thought that album was so good, and I actually re-listened to that album the other day, and it is so interesting. Like, the pop sound back then was just so wildly different from what it is today. They like really carved out a thing. It was very cool to listen to. My first job, what was the first thing I actually like got paid for? Probably busking on the street. I took a little like hat and a little CD player that I could plug a microphone in, and I had my CD of like my instrumental songs, and I stood in Perth City and sang on the street, and people gave me money, and it was great. I actually hated it. I don't know why I said it was great. It was an awful experience all around, but yeah, it's so vulnerable and terrible. Like, people are walking past you and you're just like pouring your heart out, and yeah, it was not fun. So I did it like twice. You know, it's like the craziest thing ever. I feel very lucky to say this. I've never had a real job, like ever. I want to say my first paid by somebody else job was probably maybe like X-Men Origins Wolverine. When I did that movie, yeah, I think that was probably my first time getting paid by somebody else. My first audition was for X-Men Origins Wolverine in, I think 2007, maybe? I didn't know how to audition, had no idea what I was doing, and I ended up booking the job, which was like such a dream come true. I love the X-Men movies, always have. Used to like play X-Men with my little brother. We would like, you know, each have a different superpower or whatever and pretend to save buildings. That was like always the plot, was like a building was falling down and we needed to like fly and save it. So when I got to actually be in one of the X-Men movies, it was like the craziest experience for me. My first car, God, you're really putting me on the spot. This is also embarrassing. My first car is actually the car that I own currently, and it's very nice. So I feel too embarrassed to say what it is, but I didn't own a car because I didn't live anywhere for a really long time. I was like just living out of my suitcase and traveling around, so it made no sense to get a car. And then finally, when I like actually put down roots in LA, I got basically my dream car. So I'm, yeah, very happy. My first best friend was, crazy to say, but still my best friend to this day, Kayla. Oh, yeah, no, because Kerry came later to school. Yeah, it was Kayla or Ryan, and both of them I'm still like, I've spoken to both of them today. So yeah, we were 2, maybe even younger. It was like right when I moved from South Africa to Australia. We met at like preschool before we even started like official preschool, and we all met there. My first crush was, oh, it's been like 10 years, so I can say it. His name was Jordan, and I didn't realize that I had a crush on him at the time. I just was like, whoa, this is like the first boy that I've ever met that like doesn't really like sports and is obsessed with like photography and like all of these creative pursuits. And that just really rocked my world because I had never met another boy like that before. He kind of broke my heart because he's straight, which I've never done that again since. Like, I learned my lesson, no straight boys. So yeah, I guess it was a good lesson to learn early on, but I was definitely a little bit heartbroken at the time. So I guess you get a 2 for 1. That was my first crush and my first heartbreak. Love you, Jords. My first celebrity crush, I used to think I had a crush on Miley Cyrus. Looking back, I know that I just like really wanted to be friends with her. I used to Google her every day. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. I used to like go into the news tab and just like see what she was up to every single day. And then my first like boy crush was like High School Musical Zac Efron. And yeah, it was bad. I cried because I was like, oh no, I think I'm not straight. Why do I like Zac Efron as much as I do? I was just really scared. My first awful date was probably my first date because he went on Grindr while I was there in front of me. And I was like trying to be all romantic. Like I thought we were for sure gonna get like married basically. And yeah, no, it wasn't good. My first kiss was with my friend Daniela. We're still friends to this day. It was in my, like in the bathroom at my house in Perth. I think it was like a 7 minutes in heaven kind of situation. Like it wasn't organic at all. And it was cool. I enjoyed it. I think, yeah, it was fun. First time I was ever really embarrassed. Rough story. We were playing it at school, like tag. I ran into the bathroom, the boys' bathroom, and I was standing at the urinal peeing. And this boy who like always gave me so much shit at school came in and he was it. And he saw that I was peeing. He knew that I was peeing. He knew that I wasn't just hiding in there. But he came and he tagged me it and pushed me into the urinal. And I got covered in urinal soap and I had to go home from school. It was pretty disgusting and I was pretty embarrassed. My first major disappointment, that's a really good question. I think maybe my first major disappointment was maybe like not getting a job that I really wanted or something like that, like sending out an audition for a project that I was really, really excited about and not getting it. But at the same time, I think as a young creative, you're so kind of used to that rejection that it was probably only disappointing the very first time, you know? Like, or you get disappointed, but it doesn't cut the same way anymore as it did, which I think is a really healthy, good thing. Like, I think if you get really upset every single time something doesn't work out, you're just not gonna kind of last because you have to, so cheesy to say, but there really is like a million no's before there's one yes kind of thing. So yeah, I guess I learned that I wanted to persevere because I was loving what I was doing. My first email handle was troythehotboy@hotmail.com. You can still email it if you want. I don't know who owns it now, but it's not me. Yeah, I don't know why that was what it was, but that's what it was. It was for MSN. It was for like chatting to my friends. The first person I ever followed on Instagram, I can probably tell you. Oh, I don't know where my phone is. Oh, I'm filming on my phone right now. Oh my God, what an idiot. So the first person that I followed on Instagram was probably my friend Kayla or something like that, like one of my Perth friends. The first vacation I ever went on was going back to South Africa with my family, I think, because we moved from South Africa to Australia when I was really young, and then we would go back and visit like my nana and my aunties and my cousins and all that stuff. The first vacation I ever took myself on as an adult was probably, oh, I went to New Zealand. Yeah, with an ex-boyfriend, I went to New Zealand, and I think that was like my first time paying for my own holiday. It was really nice. We went to Queenstown, it was great.